You've got a friend in me when the road looks rough ahead.
Recruiting is the second most time-consuming and challenging responsibility of a founder of a company, only second to fundraising. As an organization grows, the type of employees that they need will change, and there's always the balance of replace or add. I've been advised that every quarter you should lay off 10% of your staff. There's always 10% that it doesn't fit anymore. When you're chatting with someone new to potentially add them to your organization, you can look at them through three different lenses: skill, desire, and culture. The first one's obvious: skill. You have to ask yourself, has this person shown that they are capable of performing the tasks that I need them to do? Desire is the next most important thing, and this is, does the person want to make the same change in the world as I want to make? The third characteristic that you look for in a potential new employee is the hardest one to measure in an interview, and that's culture. I want to talk a little bit more in detail about culture, because if you screw up on culture, then the other things, desire and skill, don't really matter. Okay, now seriously, this is a culture issue. This is the drink fridge at work. Who put this back in the fridge? Seriously? Work-life balance is a common area of cultural fit issues. If the boss expects that you're going to see your kids only on the weekend and you're not cool with that, you're not going to last long at that company. How the person best works, what kind of work environment they succeed at, is often related to culture. So it's best to ask people, point blank, what's your favorite work environment? Sometimes you find employees that are so good on their skill set that you try to ignore the cultural issues. Problem with that is, it's very hard to retain those employees. Purely mechanical skills can be taught, but culture is very unlikely to be taught, if impossible to teach someone. Extracurricular activities are a great way to bond a team, which is essential for high productivity. If you've got one guy that really doesn't want to play paintball, it can ruin the whole outing. Some question whether or not cultural fit really exists or whether it's a fad. Others question whether it results in discrimination. Both of those are valid. There are some organizations that definitely treat culture as a fad, and that's where they hire in place of skill with culture. There's a great axiom that I've heard, which is A-class players on your team will help recruit other A-class players. B-class players will help recruit C-class players. And as I mentioned before, it's better to have 5 A's than 15 B's. For those that fear that culture or hiring through culture can create discrimination, it all depends on how the HR manager approaches culture and the assessment. Harvard Business Review has a great article about hiring via culture, and these are some questions that can be really valuable. Let's look at some of these. Why do you want to work here? What values are you drawn to, and what's your ideal workplace? How would you describe our culture based on what you've seen? These are great questions. In 2005, a great report came out, 62 pages long, basically saying that hiring without cultural fit is going to cost the company a year's salary. And probably an easier read, at least much more colorful, is the Society for Human Resource Management's Retaining Talent. You should read this if you're looking to grow your team. Please comment if you liked today's story. Tomorrow I'm going in for minor surgery, so apropos I'm going to be talking about the placebo effect, and I'm giving a lecture right afterwards at the All Things Data Conference.